Detective Sam Lombardo is faced with a huge mystery. The local consignment kid clothing shop in town is in danger of going out of business after 21 years. The owner is heartbroken and wants to know what has happened to her business. Detective Lombardo will use precise marketing research steps to figure out the culprit. Marketing research is the process of planning, collecting, and analyzing data relevant to a marketing decision. There are many ways that marketing research can help Detective Lombardo solve the store mystery. First of all, marketing research can be invaluable in improving the quality of decision making. What should the consignment shop owner do to save her business? Should she cut prices, increase advertising, improve customer service, or something else entirely? Marketing research is also excellent at tracing problems. Detective Lombardo can follow the steps to figure out why the store is doing so poorly. Perhaps the answer lies with growing competition or online stores. The consignment store owner is also very interested in keeping her current customers. Marketing research can help find ways to keep her existing clients and find ways to increase their purchases. Consumers can be surveyed and asked many questions that could lead to a solution. Lastly, marketing research can be used to help understand trends and environmental changes. For example, it could show the detective that people prefer buying kids' clothes on the internet now instead of in a store. Detective Lombardo's first step in the marketing research process is to figure out the problem. The major problem facing the consignment shop is declining sales. The detective needs to analyze why the sales are declining and if the store is able to be saved. The major thrust of the problem recognition step is identifying what information can help determine how to solve the problem. Detective Lombardo will search for secondary and primary data to help him make an educated recommendation. Secondary data is data previously collected for any purpose other than the one at hand. Our detective will start examining data such as sales, receipts, invoices, competitive information, online consumer information, economic trends, etc. This data is free and will save the owner time and money. After plenty of research, the detective was not able to find the reason why consumers were not visiting the store the way they used to. The detective decided he needed primary data in order to get the real culprit. The secondary research that Detective Lombardo found was helpful in creating a report that has led to some additional questions. He discovered that trends show more consumers were buying used clothes on eBay and through Craigslist. He also found economic trends that showed that overall consumer spending has consistently decreased over the past 3 years. Planning the research design and gathering primary data is needed to fully understand the situation. Primary data is information that is collected for the first time and is used for solving the investigation. The biggest issue with primary data is that it is very expensive because the researcher is conducting his or her own research from scratch. Detective Lombardo must decide on the type of primary research he will conduct for the store. One of his choices is survey research. It is when a researcher interacts with people to obtain facts, opinions, and attitudes. The types of surveys include in-home personal, mall intercept, telephone, mail, internet, and executive. Detective Lombardo does not have the time to visit consumers at their homes, so he has eliminated that type of survey. He also does not care for using a mail survey because most consumers throw away a mail survey. Plus, the time it would take to get a response would be much too long. The executive survey would also be more fitting if this was about asking professionals about a specific problem. Mall intercept is a good start, as the detective could gather a large response very quickly from intercepting people shopping and asking their opinions about the store nearby. Besides using a survey, there are other ways for Detective Lombardo to gather primary data. Detective Lombardo has spent time on designing a survey for his mall intercept. He has decided to use open-ended questions for the survey, which means that the interview questions encourages an answer phrased in the respondent's own words. Detective Lombardo wanted to know exactly why people were not shopping at the consignment store. He rejected the use of closed-ended survey questions because then the respondents would have to choose from a limited list of responses such as yes or no. He did add one scaled response question at the end of the survey. It is a closed-ended question designed to measure the intensity of a respondent's answer. He asked, "Would you describe the consignment store as the best place to shop in town for clothes?" The answer selections would consist of strongly agree, neutral, disagree, or strongly disagree. Detective Lombardo also conducted some observational research. This was done in the store to figure out if there were additional circumstances for the decrease in sales. He was able to people watch and see how the consignment shop employees handled the customers. Again, he gained some new information that he planned to share with the store owner. His last effort was to hire mystery shoppers to pose as customers and gather observational data about the store. They interact as a customer would and report their findings. Detective Lombardo chose to take the time to do one final research study called a focus group. A focus group is a type of personal interviewing where 7 to 10 people are randomly recruited by phone to form a group. This group is then invited to a research facility where they represent the target market and can give their opinions on a series of topics or questions. The focus group members are usually offered $50 to participate in the session. And the session is also videotaped for further analysis. The hopes are that having a group interaction will reveal more helpful data. Detective Lombardo already recruited and ran a focus group. There are 2 other methods of primary research design that Detective Lombardo could have used. Ethnographic research is the study of human behavior in its natural context and involves observing behavior in a physical setting. Detective Lombardo could have also conducted a detailed experiment where he would have had altered one or more variables while observing the effects of another variable, usually sales. He could have asked the store manager to run a 30% off sale one week and then the next week run a buy one get one free sale and see if either promotion increased sales. Detective Lombardo was able to collect all of the data himself for the study. Some companies hire field service firms to handle the interviewing of respondents. They would then start to process the data as well. Detective Lombardo needed to spend some time analyzing the data before he finalized his recommendations. He could have used some advanced statistical software of cross-tabulation to delve into the answers. Cross-tabulation is a method of analyzing data responses from questions in relation to the responses from additional questions. He can then see if there is an important relationship. For example, he could look at if gender or a respondent's income affect whether they purchased from the store in the last month. Detective Lombardo has done an excellent job with researching why the consignment shop's business has decreased this year. He now needs to present his findings in a professional manner, preferably a PowerPoint slides. He also needs to convince the store owner to follow his recommendations based on his credible findings. Detective Lombardo's results show that although Craigslist, online consignment retailers, and even social media has stolen some of the consignment shop's clients, there's actually a larger issue facing the store. His surveys, mystery shopping, and focus groups all point to poor customer service and badly trained employees. Most of the results show that people wanted to continue to shop at the store, but have been turned off by the employees' rudeness and lack of customer service. Detective Lombardo recommended that the store owner replace employees with better trained, more experienced retail workers. 6 weeks have gone by since Detective Lombardo presented his findings to the owner. He has decided to check back in with the store owner to see if his recommendations increase store sales. The store owner was very happy to see him and told him that his findings were correct. The owner instituted a training program and hired more experienced salespeople. Store sales were up over 15% from the last month, and she hoped that things would continue to improve as positive word of mouth spread in the community. Another case solved.